gotta find. I gotta find. You're killing me, Stuart. You're killing me.
Okay, that's working.
Okay, so yes. Okay. Okay. Nick, the printer's up and running.
What was it?
It's a printer.
I know. Very funny.
No, it was. It was a printer.
I don't know what that
No,
means.
it was the settings on the. It was not the computer. It was the printer. They're not compatible. They weren't compatible. The port that I was using wasn't available on this computer. You have to change. He used a program called TeamViewer. Rudy, you probably know TeamViewer.
No, I don't.
Oh, it allows
Yeah.
somebody else to take control of your computer.
Team can. Yeah, okay. I've seen something like
That's
that.
TeamViewer. I guess yeah. It's the old program I used to use years ago was Log Me In.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he used TeamViewer, and um,
Using it wired then, or did he get it to cooperate with the wireless?
oh, it's wireless. It's wireless. Yeah,
Cool. Okay.
uh, yeah. So, but let me tell you, it took him a good 20 minutes to play around with all the settings and everything to
Oh,
get it.
I believe it. I believe it. It
Get it.
took me that long just to get the printer to accept the Garage Mahal access. So
You know, I don't know if you looked at the Wi-Fi, it said the Wi-Fi was Garage Mahal 2. We don't even have a Garage Mahal 2.
I don't know. Well,
You know,
I didn't.
he couldn't figure out how
Yeah.
All right, boys, we're going live here. So
All righty.
all right, I think we're good. If anyone is out there, all right, let's do
we
this.
got to look out for Liam's side and see if he's out there, Brady.
Okay, so I'll keep an eye open on that. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nick and Lou.
Morning.
Morning, Brady.
And my trusty screen is our fourth viewer. It looks like we have four people watching. So, hey, Mike from Staten Island. Good morning. So, he's on Facebook. I checked YouTube, so I think we're good to go. So it's just the three of us and my other computer. So, I want to wish everybody a welcome back after I was visiting my daughter in the Carolinas outside of Charlotte last week, so I had a great time down there. Did a nice road trip with a 2021 Macan S that I still have and will finally switch out on Monday after 8 weeks. So, long story, but sometimes you have to light a fire under the proverbial you know what of some shops. So,
I need some advice on that, Rudy.
if you need me to play bad cop, just let me know.
Yeah, I could use a letter to the Volkswagen Audi group. I'm on week, I think 12, and no part in sight still.
Oh my
Hey, listen, you're putting miles on their car. Why complain? I mean,
Yeah.
Mercedes had my car for a total of like close to 6 weeks,
Yeah,
and
well,
and right, and they still couldn't repair it, and they couldn't
My,
repair it on and they couldn't repair it on Friday yesterday either.
oh God. Well, my complaint was a Q5 sucks, so they let me drive that back in, and I got a Q8. So now I'm happy.
Yeah, all right.
Wow.
That's a nice
Oh,
trade-off.
I don't think Rudy could have done better than that.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
No.
That was really nice. How do you like the Q8? How do you like the
I love
Q8?
it.
You're
I love it. My wife's going to want it now. That's the problem.
Is it a lot bigger than the 7?
Yeah, wider, no third row, but much more performance oriented. So.
Oh, I got a problem with that because some people are afraid of heights. I'm afraid of widths. That's my problem. So I think Rudy, is that your problem too? Are you afraid of widths? We got wide body.
The comebacks, the comeback overload. I just can't decide which one to come back with on that one.
That's all right. Nick's joining the fraternity, right, Nick? You're joining us.
That's right. So
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody that's watching this. We don't have a guest this week, but we're looking to queue up a few things. But I don't know if you guys caught it, but I've been busy watching Meekum the past couple of days because I think the cars I want to offer on Guys with Rides are day 1, day 2 cars. And I'm going to bring it up here. I mean, it just hell froze over yesterday, and I'll explain if you didn't see it. Can you see this right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a 67 Porsche 912 with, I believe, 42,000 original miles. And in Meekum's typical thing, a way of doing things, they artificially inflate the price because they're showing 70,000. Take that in for a minute. $70,400 for a Porsche 912. For those of you that don't know, the 912 is the 4-cylinder version of the early 911 long hood cars, but the real hammer
to the 914.
exactly. And this particular car. Beautiful car. I'm not going to, clearly, numbers matching. You could show up at Porsche Parade in July. Other than that battery, it's very close to being ready for Concours at any Porsche event, as is. And this hammered for $61,000, and it wasn't that long ago that a certain person from Bring a Trailer is on record as saying, you'll never see a 912 go for more than $30,000 or $40,000, and he's almost eating. He would if he didn't see this week. Ironically enough, it's not on Bring a Trailer. It's a live auction. So 2 observations so far from Meekum's event. Easily half of the winning bids or people that were right in until the end, they were internet bidders on their site, and they're paying 12% for that privilege. So while it is an on-site event right now in Glendale, Arizona, and they do have a fair amount of people there, you can do the upper stands of the I believe it's the State Farm Arena. It's an indoor. I think it's where the St. Louis or the Arizona Cardinals football team plays, but it's mainly just on the floor. But anyway, I was between that and how strong the prices are at that auction so far. I think there just proves that there's some pent up demand for classic cars, and people are going to. I'm predicting that it's going to be a very strong summer for classic car sales overall. As everybody,
Agreed.
yeah. So
That's a beautiful example.
yeah.
How much more do they charge for internet bidding than on-site bidding?
Well, if you, yeah, great question. So they charge a 10% buyer's premium versus 2.5% that I'm charging on here. There's no cap, where we have a $1,000 cap, and for the privilege of either phoning in your bid, sometimes you'll see there's another person that takes calls and they'll be on the headset with them, and the internet is 12%. They charge tack on another 2%. So, I was explaining that to Nurse Nancy, and gotta love her because she doesn't have a filter, and she said, well, they're not coming into, their rationale, Mecum and the other traditional tent auctions is, look, they're not showing up. They're not paying the ticket prices, which, if people don't know it, several $100s to attend an event and be a bidder. So they're not getting that fee, as well as the concessions, probably the T-shirt and everything else they're buying. So they rationalize a 2% higher fee for somebody that's just literally phoning it or signing it in. So, and good morning, Brian Clayback, my dear friend from Buffalo. Glad to see you doing well. I'm proud to say that Brian has lost over 40 pounds, and I think I found everyone he's lost. So
I found a couple of those.
yeah,
I found a couple of those.
And we have a milestone.
I blame it on COVID.
Yeah, I do. I call it the COVID 40.
Yep,
yeah.
me too.
So Brian and I have a milestone class reunion a year from July next year, or a year from this July. So I've got to lose those 40 plus another few before I show up to that event. So,
hey, we got Joe Piconia's there.
I see him.
Good morning to him and
Good
to
morning,
Marie.
Joe.
Good.
morning.
Hopefully, we'll get to see you live soon. I don't know if anybody's even going to High Octane, so I need a report somewhere.
Yep. Morning, Joe. And happy spring to you as well. That's another thing.
First day.
First day, always a beautiful thing. So I'm going to go ahead and. So Lou, you sent me this video. Let me see if I can bring it up here.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out why it's.
Technical difficulties.
No, we're going to keep talking here, so it's gonna.
No, we'll talk. We'll talk. So I had to bring my car in for service. I had a check engine light on my Mercedes, and Nick read the code for me, and it was the EGR was the code. So I called up the Mercedes dealer. I told him what the code was and the EGR, and he said, well, we still have to do our own diagnosis on it. Made appointment, and I took it up to. I don't want to say anything good or bad, but it was Princeton Mercedes Benz, and which is about 40 minutes away, half hour, 40 minutes, depending on traffic. And I went there, and they gave me a brand new loaner car. It was no problem at all, and had a half a tank of gas in it. And I drove it back to the office. And when I got there, the phone rang. It was a service advisor. It said, "Yeah, it's the EGR." He said, "But we don't have one." I go, "Okay, like you gonna have one tomorrow or something?" And he said, "No." He said, "It's going to probably take a good week, 10 days to get it. We got to get it. There seems to be a run on them all of a sudden, and we have to get it out of Atlanta. So you got to bring your car back, and we'll have to make another appointment."
They won't let you keep the loaner?
I kept the loaner from Princeton to St. Vincent to Princeton.
Oh,
wouldn't let me keep it for 10 days.
And you know what? That if you look all over the internet and a basic search. That failure is so common. That's embarrassing that they don't have those
I
parts.
said so. I said that's probably the number one failure you got. He says, yeah. He says that's why we don't have the parts.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
so right. So I took it back, and I am. What we're going to do is the day it has to be returned to the end of the lease. The day it's going to get returned, and as I approach the dealership, I will reset that check engine light. And hand the car the keys.
Nice.
Well, but when I reset it, you said it came back before you were at the end of the block, though, right? So I don't know.
When I'm at the dealership, I'll reset
Okay.
it, and then
All right.
give them the keys. Not even drive it, just like pull in there, park it, reset it, then go out and say, "Hey, here's the car," And then when they drive it into the service bay, the light will go on. We can do that, right?
Yeah, we can do that. So in my alley, I'm waiting for an exhaust pipe. Been waiting now 65 days. I called Audi customer care and they said there's nothing we can do for you. Referred me back to the dealer. I said, well, as someone as vast as the Volkswagen Audi Group, you're telling me you have no relationship with your vendors to even inquire or apply some pressure as to when you can get a stinking metal pipe in? Oh no, sir, we cannot help you. That's what they just kept pushing me back to the dealer. The dealer's been great, obviously, especially
Wow.
giving me
Yeah, well,
now.
yeah.
However, there's no rhyme, reason, no answer. They just don't know and don't care. So, as we discussed, I'll keep running up the miles on these loaners and hope that I still have a battery left by the time that my poor car's been sitting in a corner of the Turnersville Audi lot for now 65 days. So it should be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, Joe made a comment that he has a friend of his who has one of those Buicks that is built in China.
China.
Yeah,
Yeah.
China. And needs a small part of transmission, and he's been waiting 6 weeks for that
Good
for a
God.
transmission.
Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to. The other computer doesn't want to agree with me, so I'm going to.
My name is Liam, and this is my
It's already
2001
starting. Hang
Brown
on.
Mustang.
Oh, that's really a beautiful car. Who had it before you?
I could hear it, Rudy, but
Yeah, I know. I can't get
And,
anything
we know
to
how he
work
got
this
it,
morning.
right?
Sorry, everyone.
How did he get it? How was he able to get such a beautiful car?
You asked him if you told him if he answered a question correctly about
All
the
right.
car, that you would buy it for him, and if he answered it incorrectly.
Why is that not working? Sorry,
So
guys.
And you asked him what was a pinion snubber, and he answered it correctly. He said it was a
I could probably do it and share my screen. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where this damn thing is playing. Hang on.
And
Yeah, I gotta get you.
And he got the car. And the car has 18,000 miles on it. It's got the optional
Got good volume
seats,
on it.
leather seats.
I,
I'll be with you in a minute. I'll share my screen and I can play it
I
from
can't.
here.
Yeah, I can't. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on that won't play. Let me find the darn thing again here. Let me try to do this one more time. Hopefully everybody can hear me out there. Okay, I don't need that. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We got the comments here. There's the preview, and where is Liam's Roush movie? Let's try.
Let's see. All right.
Okay. Can you guys see that right now?
No.
Nope, still see us.
Okay, that's right, because I got to do this.
All right. So I am on.
Oh, this is why. That's why. Sorry. Okay.
Take two.
Take two.
Take two.
Let's see if you can see.
I see something in the background over behind us.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah, you just gotta get rid of us now. We can see the car behind that.
Right. All right, let's play this so I don't waste more time. And
Nick Stewart thinks you're relaxing. Little does he know.
Yeah, I saw that comment. Yeah, this is my 5 minutes of
Little does he
relaxation,
know.
brother.
all right, here we go.
This is
Mustang.
Oh, that's really a beautiful car. Who had it before you?
My dad.
Ah, and we know how he got it, right?
Uh-huh.
How did he get it? How was he able to get such a beautiful car?
He, you asked him if you told him if he answered a question correctly about the car, that you would buy it for him, and if he answered it incorrectly, then he would have to stop bothering you for the car. So and you asked him what was a pinion snubber, and he answered it correctly. He said it was it stopped the it stopped the metal from hitting the metal when the car bounced up, and he got the car.
And he got the car. And he got the car. And the car has 18,000 miles on it. It's got the optional Roush seats, leather seats. It's got the big brake option. It's got metal pedals, white face gauges. It's got all the goodies. And you like this car?
Mm-hmm.
What else do you know? Anything else about the car?
I like how fast it goes.
Yes. It's very
a
nice.
need for speed. Yeah.
So, you like other cars too?
Mm-hmm.
So you turn into a car person. So do a walk around. Let's take a walk around of the car. Come on, walk around with me. Let's go from the front to the back.
The front. Okay.
Yeah, let's go look at it. Let's look at the front. So that's a optional red stripe across the spoiler on the bottom.
Optional by me.
Just to highlight it, matches the stripe on the seats. And
It hides
these
all the
are
scrape
not
marks.
the Roush wheels. We will show you the Roush wheels. These are 2010 Cobra SVT wheels on here right now. And let's go around the back and show them the spoiler. Side pipes. Don't forget the side pipes right there. Right there's the side pipes. And this is the comes with this factory spoiler, a little different than the standard spoiler. And this has 5 supports there in the back. It's a rare model of Roush. After that, they went to 3. There's the Roush labeling on the windshield, on the rear window, and it's got Jack Roush's signature right here on this.
Wow.
And on the interior, let's see, we can see the metal pedals and the white face gauges. You see,
I
see
put
about
those in
starting
too. I put those in too.
Oh, that was the end of it.
Yep, that's Liam Seiden with his fathers, who got the best of me on that car by
You
answering.
bought on the stage 3.
He wanted a stage 3. I wouldn't go that. I wanted to get him an automatic. He insisted that he wanted to learn how to drive the stick and needed the stick shift. So he got the stick shift, and we didn't get the stage 3. So I figured, he's going to college. I didn't want him to hurt himself, so
Right.
he did okay
That
with a
sounds
stage
familiar.
3. Yeah. It's like a turbo Trans Am, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, my accountant called me, emailed me, and he found a 1980 turbo Trans Am
Yeah.
Sorry to hear
convertible.
that.
Yeah, because of the motor. It's like no motor. I know. It's I couldn't find any separate listings on that. That's like a unicorn. A
Yeah.
1980 Firebird Turbo Trans Am convertible. Haggerty doesn't even have it as a convertible as a value. Neither does NEDA.
That had to be that. Yeah, they didn't start making a convertible again until. And 80 was the second generation F body, so they never made a factory convertible. That
Right.
was somebody converting, and what was it? Strawman was one of them. Maybe even Hessen Eisenhower, one
So
of
that's
those.
that's an aftermarket
That
conversion.
absolutely convert.
Correct.
Yep,
Yep.
yep,
Yeah. Yep.
Wow,
yep. Yeah,
interesting.
because I want to say, Nick, correct me. So the GM came out. ASC did the factory third generation, and that had to be what mid
Correct.
'80s, like 84, 85.
Yeah. 85. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, and I've seen a couple of those. Some of them, there's no back seat.
Yeah.
This is second gen one. Yeah. So yeah, that's why you won't see the value on it.
When
Right.
I'm ready,
Yeah,
I know what I have to pay.
I got it. Yeah, I'll have to find out who did the conversion on that. I'll do
Yeah.
see if I can dig up who made the conversion on that car, because there was another one listed, and didn't say somebody else made the conversion. It looked really good too. So
Well, listen, when I'm ready, I'll pay the 45 grand and it'll be turnkey. I'm not doing like I am right now with the other 914. I'm about to go and trying to restore that car.
Yeah. So
yeah.
so
I
Mike.
always say, when I had my 27 Buick, I said I've restored a car twice, and then I said first and last.
Yeah.
Let
Yep.
somebody.
Yeah. It's true.
People don't know what's involved in it till they do it.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Crazy.
But I think that $45,000 car today is going to be it's going to be a lot more expensive in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than likely. Yep, sure.
I think that's a car that'll appreciate in value. It has already. So
Yeah. I don't.
until they stop making gasoline, and you have to go convert it to electric or something.
Yeah, but if Porsche comes through with that, a couple weeks ago they announced synthetic gasoline.
Yes, I
They're
saw
making-
that.
Yeah, so yeah, it might be. We'll see what happens when they do that.
And what is that going to do? How's that going to be better than normal gasoline?
Allegedly, zero emissions is what their
Right.
goal is with it, because it's not made from hydrocarbons. So.
So
Interesting.
when it burns, it doesn't produce any emissions.
Yeah, the traditional greenhouse gases, which I find fascinating. Right, it's a chemical reaction of some sort. At a minimum, it's going to make it's got to make
He's got to make heat.
yeah right. It's got to make
Burn
heat.
something.
Yeah, I'm not.
Right.
I didn't do well in chemistry, but I did well enough to know. Yeah, it's going to make heat. It's going to make it's water vapor of some sort. And
Hey,
Well,
if it keeps our cars alive, I don't care.
Well, the whole idea, when hydrogen fuel cars was the idea that somehow you can take a process and fill a tank with water and
Right.
extract the hydrogen from it to run on the car and recombine it with oxygen and have water vapor come out of the exhaust pipe. So,
well, no, you're sort of there. The chemical reaction of doing that creates the electricity that runs the car, right? It's not running on the water. It's if I remember if the combination. Yeah, here I see. This is why I didn't do well in chemistry, and that's why you become an industrial engineer, folks.
you just sidestep that whole
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
right?
yeah. So, isn't it? What are they doing with the hydrogen that they're creating the electricity? That's what Toyota's hydrogen thing is. It's not like they're pumping.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like they're pumping the hydrogen into an internal combustion engine, and that's what's running the car.
Right.
So, anyway, on to that. But, all right, so you guys want to talk about our favorite cars of the week? past week or so?
Sure. Yeah, it's good.
Sure,
All right,
absolutely.
let me bring up since the give me a second. We'll keep talking. Any others? What are you guys working on while I bring this up?
Nick, what are you doing? What are you going to fix this week?
Minor stuff. Just doing some oil changes today on the EOS and the 914. So just minor maintenance. Nothing. Oh, and I ordered on my 87 560 SEL that is has 307,000 miles. I've given in and ordered all new fuel injectors because I'm tired of the intermittent rough idle, and going to give it a tune up. So that's next on the list, probably next week when all the parts arrive.
So how do you know?
Wow.
How do you know it's the injectors that are doing that? Not. Is there a diagnosis to make it so you know it's the
Well,
injectors?
yeah, I took one out, each one out at a time while she was running, and watched how bad the spray pattern was. Some were just dumping it down the cylinder, not even
Gotcha.
spraying. It's
Hey,
time.
hey, Rudy.
Yep.
Stu wants to know if you're a hockey guy, a Buffalo Sabre fan. Not only are you a hockey guy, you're a hockey player.
Yeah, Stu. I was playing shinny at Oaks up until a couple years ago. So, and yeah, I am a born and bred Buffalo Sabres and Buffalo Bills fan. So I do live in hell between living between Philly and New York. I am in hell because I've got Eagles, Giants, Jets, Islanders, Flyers, everybody under the sun. But yeah.
What position? What do you play hockey? What position?
So now I just with Shinny, it's pickup hockey when I do play. So it's just I'm typically forward or defense, whatever the rotation is on pickup. But back when I was a kid, I played goalie. I was stupid enough to play goalie.
That's what I thought. I
Yeah.
thought you were a goalie.
Yeah. So that tells you how crazy I am. But I was not.
Yeah.
I still am not. I'm still.
You were in the Mighty Ducks, weren't you?
No,
you were playing Goldberg in the Mighty Ducks. Didn't you?
No. I was never. No, I'm not good at all. Let's just put it that way. Never good enough, and a better engineer than a hockey player, and that's not saying much. So, yeah, Stu, thank you for feeling my pain. The Sabres continue to be a complete dumpster fire, but that's a story for another podcast.
Right. And time for a coach change, right?
Yeah,
New coach.
well, yeah, that happened earlier this week.
Oh,
They got rid of the European soccer experiment with Freddy Krueger. That's what I called him. But Stu, I will say this, and I sorry guys for because I can go off on this all day. But Stu, I think the first thing the next coach needs to do is rip the C off Jack Eichel's jersey. I'm a firm believer in that. I think he's a toxic loser element. Clearly one of the top talents in the world in hockey, but he's not a leader. And they need to rip that C off of him as fast as they can as soon as he comes off protocol. It's not Taylor Hall, but the other guy escapes me right now. I think they should put the C on him. He brings a lot more experience to the room and the winning attitude. So we'll see where that plays out. All right, so I wanted to talk about this car because this generated a little bit of controversy. I put this up on Topless Thursday, and quite frankly, my take on it is for $9,500. This is why would you even consider a first gen, second gen, or third gen Camaro when this one puts out, I think, 325 foot-pounds of torque from the factory? It's the LT1 motor. It's the LT1 motor that was in the Corvette from that vintage. And if you hear the sound of this thing, it's just awesome. There's videos all over the internet on these cars. Yes, it has the slush pump, but I looked it up, and for about $3,000, you can buy a plug-and-play manual transmission kit, including the pedals, to convert this to a 6-speed T5. And with the prices of these cars getting out of hand, the first gen and even second gen, the late 80s, or late 70s Z28s that were marginal performance at best. Why would you not go with this car for under 10 grand? And of those 4 generations, this is the only one with leather trim seats too. So anyway, that's my take on it. You guys want to compare and contrast?
That was
I
my
like
pick
it.
before. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. I'm trying not to call a guy and buy it. It's like for that price. It's a fun car. It's a 700 R4, the automatic on it,
Right.
slush box, and that's a good transmission. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a 4-speed automatic lockup. It's a good trans, and they use the same one in the Corvette. How bad can it be? And you can put a shift kit in it if you want to tighten up the shifts. There's all kinds of modifications for it.
Yeah, it's funny. Another friend from high school, Chris commented that he said that the cool factor isn't there with a car, and I said, well, I translate cool factor to being the peacock factor, right? Maybe you don't want to be seen in this car, but you watch the video I posted of Tyler Hoovey with a car he bought about a year ago, and a couple others out there with these cars, and the sound of that LT1, and the fact that when you go around the turn, you better be hanging onto the wheel. The fun factor of the 4th gen for under 10 grand, there's no
Yep.
no denying
I'm with
it.
you.
Yeah.
And the color is right.
Yeah.
And the color,
Yep.
so
Okay. So that was my.
I would.
Go ahead.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
So I'm going to move to Nick because it's right there, and Nick was picked the other pick of the litter, as Lou put it. So let me pull this up.
Yeah, I love this car. My one of my aunts actually had this car right around the time that I got my license, and I would absolutely every time she'd come to visit, she'd walk in the door and I'd walk out the door, and I'd be gone for hours with it. So
Oh, that's great.
of course car. She didn't have the convertible, but still, it was a fun car.
These really were fun cars.
Yeah, especially this one being still a rear wheel drive. Because as you guys know, I'm sure they switched to front wheel drive shortly after that.
Right. Right.
And again, another ASC special like Lou's 944. So not that many made, only like 4,200 or so in '85, and only 200 the year before. So that makes it kind of rare and special to me. And I love, as I think you even commented, I love the stereo with all the equalizer buttons. It just takes me back to my
That's for sure. When you and I both had mullets.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get over how clean this car was. And actually,
yeah.
Jeff Lavery, if you guys saw him, or the Rad Era editor, found this and recommended we post it, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The guy who's selling this it's a flip. Apparently, if you
Right.
read the description,
Yeah.
literally according to him, a little old lady owned this since new, and
It shows. I believe
it. Shows it. Yeah.
So I got some history and some trivia about all these cars.
Okay.
This one, ASC built a $5 million, 46,000 square foot plant in Rancho Dominguez, California,
Wow.
specifically to produce this Celica convertible.
Wow.
In the first year was 84 on these things.
Okay.
The Toyota reinforced the unit bodies of the Celicas that were going to become convertibles while they were still on the assembly line in Japan. And then they went to the ASC plant. They underwent a 27-stage conversion process that included roof removal and the installation of new power rear quarter windows, weather stripping, molding, and the power top. And what's interesting is they invented a special, engineering-wise, torsion bar that tilted the top of the rear seats forward so the top could store in a well. And then the trunk lid was used, and it had some kind of special, which I haven't seen them, panographic hinges with gas struts, so they would minimize the intrusion.
Wow.
The top was top had a full headliner. It had a heated rear glass window, and was available in black or white. And all the mechanical components were the same. The difference is that the coupe costs $11,200, and the convertible cost $17,669.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like a $6,000 premium for the convertible. They built about 4,500 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Great
all right,
What it went
that
through,
was,
rightfully so. Yeah.
so that was the second generation, no, the third generation Celica, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
there was a convertible version prior to that was called Sun Chasers,
Oh, I featured a couple of those. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So they weren't done by ASC.
Oh, that's a great
They
trivia question. I didn't know that.
right. So
Oh,
so
go ahead.
guess anybody?
For some reason, ISIS Motors is coming up. No, that's not it. No, no, no.
How about Jack Griffith, the Griffith Company?
Griffith Company. Yeah.
So we made the TVRs. Same company made
Yeah.
TVRs. So he modified the second generations with it took it off, I think, the Lancia Zagato type, where they had the lift off roof panels
Yeah.
and a folding soft window in the back.
I'm gonna see
And
if
he built about 2,000 of those, and they were sold through Toyota dealerships through 81.
I'm gonna see if
So
I can
there's
find one here.
So yeah, I don't have. I should have done that too, but I didn't.
No, I got it
didn't
right
find
here. I featured two of them. Fortunately, I'm back to two computers, so forgive my. All right, here we go.
There you go. There it is.
So this is one we featured back in June of last year. And this was I featured two since we started the site. This is the better of the two. And that gives you're absolutely right, the Lancia
Zagato
Zagato.
type, yeah. Kept the roll bar in it, yeah,
Yeah.
and then the structural integrity. But the ones that Toyota did, the ASC, they were already reinforced, so they didn't have to need the roll bar.
Yeah,
The
this one was
target
built.
bar.
This was still 1979, 1980. There was still up in the air as whether there was going to be rollover standards. So,
Well, that was cheap too when you feature it. 4,000 or best offer. I wonder what it sold for.
Yeah, that did not last long either.
Wow.
Yeah, so cool stuff. All right, so
Who knows what Celica means?
don't know.
Good. Don't know.
It means heavenly or celestial.
Very cool.
In
If
Japanese.
Yeah, in Japanese. And if you're Mike Brewer or Anstead, you say Celica instead of Celica.
Right. But Lou, before we get to your pick, I'm gonna bring up one that I thought was interesting. So
What is my pick?
I don't know. What is your pick?
Yeah, he took over mine, so yeah, I know. What is your pick, Lou?
I thought mine was. I had picked the Celica, and you said you did. Well, the other one left. The other one left was the AMX, right?
Yeah, we'll do that one next. Okay.
No, this one. I looked at this. They never even made a pace car of the '88.
Yes.
I think they made in the '70s. They had a '76 was a pace car or something. Buick.
Yeah. So this one. So I've been doing this 2 years, right? And here's the funny thing about this. One of the early cars I featured was this very car when it was for sale in Long Island. And I want to say that was about 18 months ago. This car, and to back it up even further, if you guys go to the description of this one when you get a chance after the show, because you want to talk about a small world in this game. Jeff Lavery in 2018 did a barnfinds.com write-up because this car was one of two that the owner that did this livery on it, he built not built, but he had two wagons, Buick LeSabre wagons, wrapped in this theme, and Lou hit it. This is a custom interpretation of the Buick Indy 500 pace car. That was a Buick Regal in 76. And really, that's all it is. It's just tape stripes. It's got the original 307 in it. But ironically enough, this car, 18 months later now, is back up for sale in Webster, New York, a suburb of Rochester. I just thought it was interesting that you do this long enough, a couple years in, and here we are. We're seeing effectively the third caretaker since the tape stripes have been put on, selling this car. So, and oddly enough, that our very own Jeff wrote about this very car a couple of years ago. So, all right. So Lou, gonna take the.
This is
So go. So I love this car. Go ahead. I was gonna pick this, but Lou's gonna be more informed.
What was I saying? They were always the underdog. American Motors was always the underdog. They were, last in line, and they always tried to compete with the big three. When they came out with their pony cars, they tried to compete with it. And they came out with the Javelin before this,
right?
And then they wanted to make something a little bit more sporty, so that's where the AMX came in.
Yeah, the Marlin before this.
Originally, that's American Motors Experimental. That was a show car. So that's how it started with the AMX. The X was for experimental. And they liked the name, so they just used it. And I like the car. I mean, this is the high performance version of it. It's a pretty rare car. And you're not going to see yourself coming and going on any Cars and Coffee or any shows.
What was interesting about the Craigslist, it's still for sale, by the way. He did not mention the Go Pack being on this car. It has the these came with the 360, or I forget which the standard engine was, but most people opted for the 390 engine, and then on top of that, with the Go Pack, so you got dual exhaust, a 4-speed. It is a 4-speed 390 car, but he did not call out the Go Pack on it. But
these two carburetors, they're aftermarket.
Yeah, so that, but that
I don't remember them. I mean, I looked it up. I don't remember them as an option. They couldn't find us an option.
No, he describes it. This is an Edelbrock, an aftermarket Edelbrock intake manifold. He claims that they only made 500 of these, and those are two 570 CFM Holly Avenger carburetors topped. So.
Was this a dealer installed thing, or what was?
No, he didn't. I could not find any information on what struck me about this car is, if this was the early '80s again, and I came across an AMX, this is probably how, and I had money. This is probably short of the dual carburetor setup. This is how I would have drove to high school with it, right? The Krager SS's.
SS's were, that was a wheel and a half.
It's just a cool car, different than, like you said, different than the Camaros.
Right. It would have been that color. It would have been that color, like a marina blue color with the white stripes.
Yep.
Interesting, like no console back in those days.
It's got it's got some cool, what he says in this description for those that want to read it afterwards. Not only does it, so it's got all these period pieces. So it's got, I believe those mirrors might be aftermarket, but look at the shifter. It's got line lock.
They are.
Yeah, the shifter's got line lock on it, and then he's got the tack off to the side of the steering column. Look at that. It's been repainted.
I don't think they didn't have a collapsible spare back then.
Yeah, but here are the parts that come with it. If you want to get, the bucket seats are
switched out.
Switched out. The door panels are there. So he claims those are about $6,000 to $8,000 in spare parts, which I wouldn't doubt it. I think if you're better off buying.
He's got the standard intake manifold there.
Right.
Looks like the heads are off the car. So the heads must have been changed.
Yeah, he talks about that.
you got two bell housings.
Right. I don't know what you're going to do with those.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
You got two exhaust manifolds.
Yeah.
Um,
Vintage cherry bomb mufflers. I think it's just a
Yeah.
yeah. It's funny what the car comes with. So so it was a very cool car, and of course some nice documentation that goes with it. It's a 42,000 mile original car, but with one. It's funny you said Marina Blue because they did use an 80. Or I think that's what they used for the color to redo the car. So.
Clean underneath.
Oh yeah, almost like a what's the word? It almost looked like bed liner in the trunk and underneath. Very clean car.
So what do you think about the asking price?
Well, I talked about it. When you factor in the spare parts, you'd be crazy not to keep those parts with the car, right? When you factor that in, he's open to reasonable offers. I think if you could get everything for 40 grand, you'd be doing fine.
All right, so now let's compare what else is out there. So you would have a 69 Camaro,
Yeah,
either 396,
which
to be equivalent to be comparable to the 390 AMX,
right.
right? So 396 Camaro, I think that would probably bring a little bit more than the AMX.
Yesterday I talked about Mika, and they were pulling. What was it? It was a
112,000 or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Or
That was
something.
there was a six-figure car. I didn't see an SS 396 yesterday, but there were a couple Camaros that when they came up, they were 90 plus.
I know it's
Yeah.
crazy. And
And
then let's throw in a 69 Pontiac. What Trans Am? Well, we have 69.
69 kit.
Yeah, Firebird. Yeah.
The Firebird. It was
Firebird.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Firebirds. Not to go off tangent here, but Firebirds right now,
Are
particularly
hotter than.
first gen Firebirds are. You can't find one for under 25,000 right now. So,
No. What's going on?
yeah, so
That's why that Camaro convertible is such a steal.
yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, let's buy it.
I figured you were going to buy. Well, there's one more I'm going to bring up because I'm
You're
surprised.
out of room, Lou. You're out of room.
No, I have room. I went in there this morning. I have room. We got. we have. Wait a minute. Maybe Rudy would like to. I should ask Rick. We have a 2007 G6 convertible, right?
Correct. Yes, Pontiac G6 convertible.
Immaculate.
Okay,
60,000 miles.
it's one of the last Pontiacs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure is.
I think it's a good guys with rides classified.
So do I.
I will put it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's put it up.
All
Right now we'll put it up. We're going to announce it. Yep. We'll take
All right.
some pictures.
I
We'll
love
put
it.
it up. We just got to figure out what a good price is for it.
Yeah, let me
What's
work on
that?
that one. This was another one I was surprised neither of you picked, but if you saw this
The
this week,
surveillance.
the surveillance van. So if any of you are out there, if you see one of these vans in your neighborhood,
Right.
you pray they're watching your neighbor and not you. So this roof rack is all plastic, and it's made to look like a plumber or an electrician's van. But wait till you see the inside. So this thing that looks like a reflector is actually a peephole to watch people with. This thing only has 23,000 miles on it, which means that engine probably just sat. These things sat at stakeouts for the most part. The interior's like, no, obviously because of it. And here's where it gets interesting. The whole back area is a stakeout trimmed car. They have these on the back side. You see these viewing windows. It's all sound padded, so you can't hear. People outside can't hear it, but you can look out. The picture's actually upside down, but God only knows what all these control panels are for, to watch somebody. And I just thought it was neat to bring that in. Even has a cooler, an air conditioning system that works off of ice, so that you're running this in silent mode. So anyway, I just thought that was a very odd thing to be seeing on Craigslist.
What are they asking for it? What are they asking for?
11,000, I believe. Yeah.
Does it say who used it? Who
No.
it belonged to?
No, and you don't ask.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
So, anyway, if anybody wants to start their own snooping company, if you want to channel your inner Jim Rockford, that's the vehicle to start with. Yeah. What else? What else is going on, guys? We've got about 9 minutes left, and
Well, the weather is still cold.
yeah,
It's still cold. It's not yet outdoor weather. I did send you guys an email that in Morgantown, New Jersey, on April 11th, they're having a huge car corral and flea market at the auto mall.
oh, that's right. That,
So,
yeah,
yeah. So if you're around, Nick, I'd like to go up too.
Yeah, I'm
So we
in.
can do that.
Sure.
yeah.
That's a Sunday, the 11th.
Okay.
Okay.
That's for people that don't know. Look up Classic Car. Is it ClassicCarMall.com?
ClassicAutomall.com.
Classic, yeah.
I think
Who
so.
the show I was interviewed on a couple years ago, Car Smarts. We've had gentlemen on there from that, and that was one of his sponsors. And if you can imagine, my buddies from Buffalo, if you can imagine walking around the old Seneca Mall, but all the stores are gone, and in every place where all of the old stores are cars. That's what the place is like. So it's kind of a neat idea these guys did, and it's connected
Watch the
to a
drone
hotel.
footage that's out there.
They
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a drone
Somebody did
footage.
drone.
Yeah, so what they do?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a drone flying through all the open windows and all the cars. So
Oh,
what
I gotta
they
watch
did
that.
Okay. So what they did was they when they show it to you, they speeded it up. So when they took it, it was like slow motion with the drone going through.
Yep.
But when you watch the video, this drone is doing 100 miles an hour, and it's going in and out. And you go like, there is just no way, that. But that's how they fool you.
Wow.
So that's what they do. But
I'll
the drone
have to-
footage is great.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
Oh.
It's about about an hour. It's about halfway between Carlisle, Pennsylvania, where the big
Yeah, it's-
shows are,
Yeah,
and
it's just
Philly.
It's just outside of Reading. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a must see place that I haven't been to yet, but I pass by every time on my way to Carlisle. So I'm thinking
we were close to it, Nick and I, when we were coming
Yeah.
back from Carlisle.
Yeah.
We detoured.
We
to
chose
look at
poorly. We took the wrong path. We went to look at a truck instead of stopping.
oh no, that sounds like another BMW story.
Almost.
almost. But the guy had a lot of stuff that he was working on. He had another truck that was really nice. Couldn't find the keys to it. That was done. It was
Yeah.
a C10, I think.
Wow.
That was
Yeah.
done.
I've never seen you so excited over a truck, Lou.
Yeah.
Really excited over that one.
Too funny.
That was a 454 C10 that was lowered, and the whole thing was done. And it's just it was like black chair. It was two-tones. Good looking. A new paint job. It was a good looking truck. Couldn't find the keys to it.
Too
So
funny.
Yeah.
I hope he
we
did.
took it as an omen from God that it was time to leave.
No doubt. So upcoming shows, I'm starting to see. Here in Jersey, a week ago they upped the limit to 50 people outside. So I'm hoping maybe next week that'll double again. Fingers crossed. But Bucks
I don't
County.
know how they're doing it. I don't know how they're doing that. With New Jersey has the highest number of cases in the country of COVID.
Yeah, but
I don't know how's he and things are getting opened up, and we're number one in the country. So I don't understand the logic behind it myself. So,
Yeah, that's a
but
that's
I'm
a
vaccinated. Anybody, you vaccinated, Rudy? You're
no. I'm not.
vaccinated.
No,
No,
nope. I'm nope, not right now. So gonna
soon.
just
I hope.
what's that? I'm not on the
Are you,
list. I'm too healthy. I'm too far down the list.
well, he says they're going to open it up by the end of
Yeah,
the month.
I think the other component to that, probably without looking, is the hospitalizations and the death rate is down, right? Versus
What? Yes, what it used to be.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's his inclination. Is it's I'm not going to speak for the governor, but I would think that's probably more of the factor that a lot of this shutdown. Let's face it. A lot of the shutdown was the fear that the hospitals would be
Overwhelmed.
overwhelmed and
Emergency rooms, not enough ventilators.
right.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's not happening, the case rate is up, but you know
Well,
the
Rudy. Speak for the emperor instead, and just fudge the numbers.
yeah yeah
Oh, it's supposed to be like New York. Like,
yeah
is that
Yeah.
the reference?
yeah.
Emperor Cuomo. Yeah.
For Cuomo. So
Wow.
I'll digress. I'm not going to digress on King Murphy or
Yes, I
Emperor
know.
Cuomo.
No, we can't. Yeah, we shouldn't talk politics.
Yeah,
We really should.
so-
We should.
Rudy, that was a test, Rudy. You did good. You did good. You trained.
We talk cars.
Yeah. So
Cars.
we've got just
How
over
about
the
an update? How about an update on the 928? What's going on with that?
nothing.
Okay, there's
so-
the update.
So no, my if I showed you my hands right now, I don't know if you could see the red marks, but I am still in the midst of a redoing the tile in my kitchen. So I have one more day, I think, of doing that. I actually had to redo that. For those of you that are considering doing a tile job, pay someone. Just pay the money. I
learned that the hard way too, pal.
Yeah, I've done. People who know me know I'm not afraid to try anything home improvement wise. This is Lou said it earlier. I did a tile job twice, the first and last time, all in one shot. Right now, I got maybe it's a combination of me getting too old for it, but I just this one.
I just did a bathroom. I just did tile. But fortunately, I had I had a tile cutter, a brand new one that I bought it, and it didn't work. The kind you scrape across and break.
Yeah, I'm taking two of those back. What's that?
Yeah, I got it it looked like a table saw with a blade.
Yeah.
And that's what I used, and it had water going through it.
Right.
So that's what I used to cut the tile.
Yeah, our dear friend Joe, he's got every tool imaginable, and he actually lent me this table saw, a wet table saw and a wet circular saw about a year ago, and they're in good hands, Joe. If you're out there, I will get them back to you. One of the few times I did borrow tools, so and that you're absolutely right. I thought for a couple of the angle cuts I'd use one of those splitters. I went to one of the big box stores and bought one that was made in China, and it broke.
Go figure.
It broke on the first tile, and then the second one, the way they designed it, the bars, if they have the slider on it, the bars are held by injection molded braces. They're ribbed, but the bars flex. So, you're absolutely right. I just went to the wet saw, and that's all I'm doing.
That's all. Yeah, wet saw, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I wear a mask. I got dust all. Even with the wet saw, you get dust all
well,
over.
the house
all
is just the house is. Poor Nurse Nancy has been a saint because it's just the house is disaster, and I'm cutting everything outside. So, but
Oh,
Rudy,
wow.
yeah.
Rudy, you and I need to get back to cars because while you were away, I became a master plumber too and
Oh.
replaced my top heater. I don't want to do that again ever either.
Yeah. So
We did it, but I'll never do it again.
Yeah, I got to get back to cars. So I think
Yeah.
after I'm gonna hone my I'm told I'm gonna hone my detailing skills as soon as this project's done because I'm gonna have to detail the entire house, and which is
then you can start detailing cars after that.
Yeah,
You got the
yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
So I hope by next week I'm talking about the 928 again. So
All
I hope
right.
so
yeah,
too.
yeah. So
Me too.
all right, that's the top of the hour, boys. I think I know everybody
All
wants
right.
to get to other things, and we'll go from there.
Well, great. Thank you, Liam, for doing that video for us.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll have you on and for other segments and get you into the car thing a little bit. And have a great week, everybody.
Have a great week, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning
Happy
in.
spring, everyone.
And get
Take
out there
care.
and enjoy it.
Right.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.
All right.